It's Football Manager release day. Hello and welcome back to the TomFM channel. And first things first, you may have seen this on my Twitter earlier on today. That's right, on the most important day of the year, the Football Manager 2021 release day, there's some work going on in my house and it's very noisy. So I'm trying to do the best that I can, but you just might hear some noise in the background. I have to stop talking for a while or something. So if you do hear stuff in the background, apologies. I can't help it. There's stuff going on. But now that disclaimer's out of the way, hello, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well and thoroughly enjoying Football Manager 2021. The game came out last night, technically, at 10 PM, and obviously the first thing I did was go and buy the in-game editor. Usually, this time of the year, I like to do a quick billionaire experiment because they bang views and people love them somehow. I don't know why, but they do. This year, though, we're going to do something slightly different because the billionaires are becoming a little bit predictable. So we're going to have a competition instead. I've gone up north and I've gone to York and I've gone into York's finances and I've given them, if we look at their finances, £1 billion. So that's the traditional billionaire style of thing. We just give them a ton of money and see what happens. But I want to see what happens if we give a different club everything but money. So I've gone down to London and I've gone to Dulwich, Hamlet, and I've decided to give them absolutely everything other than money. So you can see they've got maximum reputation, they've got a maximum stadium size of 150,000, they've got no money, as you can see, or little to no money. Basically what they've got in the bank at the start of the game is what they've got. They've got perfect facilities as well, a roof, undersoil heating, a nice grass pitch as well. They've got everything other than money. So I want to find out, is giving a club £1 billion better than giving a club not £1 billion, but perfect everything else? All I need to do now is just go on holiday, and because it came out last night, I was able to leave it running overnight, which has been pretty handy. So we've got quite far into the future. In fact, I can tell you now, we've done 25 seasons pretty much. We did 5 just on their own, and then I left it going overnight, and it went to 2046. So we've got quite a long way to go. But before we jump into the future, as a YouTuber, it would be amiss of me not to say, please drop a like on the video. We want to try and get as many likes as possible on this video, the first one of the FM20 release, because the more likes it gets, the more YouTube pushes it out, the more it helps out the algorithm, the more this guy can stop banging on the window when he's fixing it or whatever he's doing, and we can get better results in the future. And I've lost my train of thought now because it's bloody hammering. But whilst you're down there as well, click that subscribe button as well for me, because we're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you want to get access to all these save files, there's a link down below to the Patreon as well. So we are a year into the future now, a year into this experiment, and it's time to see how the clubs have done in their first season since having the upgrades to the club. So York are in the Vanarama National North, which is the lowest playable league here in Football Manager in England, and Dulwich Hamlet are in the Vanarama National South. So equivalent leagues, but they're split regionally north and south. So they're in different leagues to start off with. So if we go to the north first, we can see that York only finished 5th in the league table. Despite having a £1 billion bank balance, they couldn't get anywhere near Gateshead, who won the league, and they couldn't win the playoffs either. They've not really started splashing the cash yet, York. They're paying £5 a week to Ollie Dyson, which obviously is a bit different. So I guess he's been brought in this past season from Barrow on a free. And he didn't really do that well, did he? He's an attacking midfielder. He got 4 goals, 7 assists. Not that great. Dulwich Hamlet, on the other hand, finished 3rd in their division, but still couldn't win the league and still couldn't get promoted via the playoffs. So Dulwich Hamlet also having a bit of a tough time, despite having perfect facilities everywhere. They are also paying a player ridiculous amounts of money, which is a bit strange. I guess maybe the reputation boosters, maybe just giving them tons of sponsorship and stuff like that. Maybe that could be an issue, but they're paying this guy £6.5 grand after buying him for £115,000, although it looks like he only just joined the club because he's played no games for them this season. No appearances, no goals, so I guess he has only just joined the club. But if we sort it by current ability, you can see he is far and away the best player in the squad currently, so they're spending their money wisely. So into season 2 then, another season has gone by. Let's go and find York, if we can find them. York, there they are, 3rd in the National League North. Did they get promoted via the playoffs? No, they didn't. They finished 3rd in the table, but couldn't get themselves any higher or win the playoffs or anything like that. So another season in the same division for York, despite having £1 billion. I thought this season they'd just bring in everyone they possibly could and they just walk the league. But clearly they're having some issues with that. So let's have a quick look at their player senior squad. They are now paying a few players quite a bit of money. They've got Wilson Carvalho. I thought that was William Carvalho then. I was like really concerned that they'd signed him and he'd somehow gone to York. No, he's not. On a very small contract for William Carvalho too. But they signed Jordan Hunter, who got 11 goals this season in 55 appearances. But he's a right back, to be fair, so that's not too bad. But they're not bringing in the same calibre of players. 85 is the highest current ability. So despite having all the money in the world, they can't actually attract the big quality players. 11k they bought him for. They're not even spending their money. I mean, we've given this club £1 billion, and yet it's Dulwich Hamlet who are spending more money right now. Speaking of Dulwich Hamlet, let's have a look at the Vanarama National South, which was won by Dulwich Hamlet with 109 points on the board, 33 wins, 10 draws, and 3 losses. Okay. And by looks of things, they are paying so much more money per week on their wages than obviously York are with the billions. And they're bringing in such better quality players. They've got loads of players over 100 current ability. Like, who have these guys come from? Robbie McKenzie then have been at Gillingham, so they like to get their players from Gillingham. £210,000 spent on him. Brendan Galloway has come in on a free transfer from Luton. Gus is a regen of Dulwich Hamlet, so those good facilities are proving their worth to be very, very handy as they brought through a very good young player. He's got 162 potential as well on him. Whoa, that is Champions League quality player in the future, Gus Griffiths. So they've got themselves a good player there. Another one, a 16-year-old Maxwell. He, I guess, is also a Dulwich Hamlet regen. He is with 149 potential. That's like Premier League level football. And one down here with 145 potential too. They've had such a good youth intake this first season. And I guess that is the reputation more than anything else. I think maybe the reputation was a bit overkill. Potentially. I mean, I've done it now. I've simulated 25 seasons in the future. I can't change it. The reputation may have had quite a big impact on this. Any non-league club can have 20 out of 20 facilities, but they're never going to get all of these players because reputation plays a massive part for youth players. If you want me to do like a more in-depth video on youth intakes and how to get the best youth intakes, then leave a like on the video and I'll get to do that at some point. Season 3 then. Will York have finally got out of that Vanarama National League? They've come third again. Please have won the playoffs, York. Please have... Well, they've not won the playoffs, have they? They've not won the playoffs. So Kidderminster win the playoffs. They finish 5 points off Telford, who win the league. And this is unprecedented. I've never seen a team we've given £1 billion to not get promoted or walk the league in the first season or two. This is absolutely bizarre. Let's have a look at their playing squad then. They're splashing the cash a bit more. They're bringing some good quality players in for this level. But no one who's like a world beater by looks of things. Jordan Hunter's still there. Ollie Dyson is still there. This Luis Fernandez guy looks like he could be new. But on £5 a week, Ali Al-Hamadi is come into the club. He used to play for Swansea in the Championship. So they can bring in good quality players. I mean, if he was playing the Championship before, he's obviously not adverse to go to York for the paycheck. But obviously, the reputation of York, we haven't changed because we just gave them the money. And the money's not really boosted their reputation at all in any way, which it would do in real life. So maybe that's a bit unfair. Maybe we should have boosted York's reputation a little bit, but you would have thought maybe the game would do that. Dulwich Hamlet, on the other hand, have absolutely walked the National League at the first time, asking 109 points again with 34 wins to their name. Chester also promoted via the playoffs there. Let's have a look at their senior squad then. Who have they got? Let's sort it by like current ability. They've got, and that Gus Griffiths guy's come through and is really, really good. Neil Budd and Maxwell, they're also the youth regens, aren't they? The youth intake that they had. So they've done very, very well with those players and developing them, and they're developing rapidly, I must say. Obviously, they will do, though, because they've got 20 out of 20 facilities. So they will develop rapidly. They're also now paying Zach Clough 59 grand a week to Zach Clough, the striker. He used to play at Forest. He did, didn't he? I'll be honest, the reputation here has changed things up dramatically. Let's go back onto Dulwich Hamlet, please, and edit club details. So the reputation was 10,000. It's actually dropped by over 1,000 because they are quite low down. But in terms of their finances, they are raking in the money because I presume because they've got such a high reputation and they've got 20 out of 20 corporate facilities, they just get any sponsor they want. And then, of course, on top of that, they've got 150,000 seats in their stadium, which they are, if we look at their attendances, nearly selling out most weeks. They're getting at least 140,000 every game, apart from a friendly against Borussia Mönchengladbach, when they got 134,000. That's terrible from you lads. So they are raking in the money, I must say. They're raking it in, having a good time. I think reputation, I may have made a bit of an error there. Season 4, though, it's time to see if York have finally got promoted. York, they are second in the Oh my, are they ever going to get promoted? Are they ever going to win anything? Let's go to the division then. And they have won the playoffs. They beat South Shields in the final. So finally, York have been promoted alongside Boston, who get to nearly 100 points. But bloody hell, York, you've taken your time. I can't believe how poor they've been. Come through and they've got infinite amount of money at this level, basically. Looks like Donga He, the Chinese player, is their biggest spend. He's on £18,500 a week, so they're finally starting to spend that money. But only 13 goals in the league. It's not like he's actually doing much, is he? They brought him in, put him on big money, but he's not getting the goals for that big money at this level, is he at all? York, just spend the money on anyone. Surely someone wants to come to you with all that money. Dulwich Hamlet, on the other hand, have just won League 2 by looks of things. So they're having a swimming time. They're loving life at the moment, aren't they? 107 points in the league there as they walk the division. If we sort it by potential ability again, they are still managing to keep hold of some of their great players. And by looks of things, I guess this guy's a guy that's also come through, Nigerian goalkeeper who looks very, very good as well. I tell you what, they're doing well. I didn't even think that the youth intakes would be a big thing for them. I didn't even think about that. But youth intakes clearly at Dulwich Hamlet they're the be all and end all right now of producing football players. And in terms of wages, they are spending £74,000 a week on Zach Clough, which I'm very surprised about. They must be failing financial fair play, unless it's not in the game in the future. Because I know obviously in real life, League 2 and League 1 now have wage caps of about, I think it's like 45,000 a week in League 2. I think, let's double check this. Oh, it's not. The salary cap is £29,000 a week. And clearly Zach Clough on £74,000 is way more than that. However, it doesn't really seem to say what happens if they fail it. Because I presume they are failing this somehow. I know it says wage budget is limited to 55% of turnover. But that's not the cap. The cap is £29,000 a week. And in League 1, I believe it might be £45,000 a week then. League 1 doesn't seem to have any rules unless we click on actual... Oh, there we go. The rules are there. League 1, if we can find it, £48,000 a week. Okay. So Dulwich Hamlet not adhering to the rules, but they've got so much money, so what's the point in adhering to rules? They can probably pay off the fines anyway, can't they? How much money have they got? They're rich, actually. They are rich. So I guess all the sponsorship money's coming in. They've got... Is that 128 million? Yeah, if I put the spaces in there so it's easy to see, they've got 128 million pounds in the bank. Their sponsorship deals are just lucrative. And so here we are at season 5, which is the last year that we're going to look through before we go 20 years into the future from when I simulated overnight. Let's have a quick look at the National League then, where York got finally promoted to... they've just won the playoffs. Okay, so their first time asking in the National League, they've got promoted. So maybe this is now the catalyst that York needed. They had a bit of time to get going. They've, invested that money that they had, and now they're starting to push forward with things. They've bought some more players in, but not spending huge amounts of money still. I mean, Donga He is still the highest earner at the club. He's still only scoring 12 goals for them. In fact, not many goals are being scored by many players at this club. They're all coming from different players, though, so I guess that's why they're doing so well. But I think now what we'll see is now that York have had their initial slow start and a couple of promotions, they'll start to catch up Dulwich Hamlet. And I think as Dulwich Hamlet take their time to get promoted, I think they'll start to slow down at some point and their reputation will start to come down a little bit. York's, as they get promoted with the money, their reputation will increase. And I think we'll start to see a crossover at some point, I would imagine. So I guess let's go and find out then. Let's go and find out. In fact, no, we can't do that, can we? Because we're not looking at Dulwich Hamlet yet. Or maybe they're just not going to slow down Dulwich Hamlet because they've just won League 1. But not by a huge margin this time. 88 points on the board, only 7 ahead of Sunderland, who got promoted via the playoffs. So I guess Dulwich aren't slowing down, but they are doing pretty well still. Paul Glatzel. £88,000 a week they're paying this guy in League 1 to be a striker who's valued at £15 million. They got on a free from Liverpool and he's bagged 15 goals and 90... Fair play, lad. Fair play. Have they still got their good players, though? The ones with good potential? They do. They've still got Gus. They've still got Paul. They've still got Emmanuel. They've still got Max. They've got a guy called Hannibal in on loan who looks so... Literally, they've got players. I've not noticed the current ability. Their youth players have reached their potential. And these guys are fully fledged Premier League quality players. Gus could play in the Champions League easily. And they're playing instead for League 1 Dulwich Hamlet. Mad. So maybe they won't slow down. Maybe there's no chance of them slowing down. They're just going to keep going, keep scoring, keep winning. and they'll keep these players because of their reputation. I think I may have made a mistake with the reputation, I'll be honest with you boys. So let's go to 2046 then and see if this predicted crossover, which is maybe not going to happen now that I've seen that the current ability and they can keep hold of their good players, might not happen, but let's see if York can catch up Dulwich Hamlet. So the year is 2046. It's been a long time since those initial £1 billion was given to York and the initial everything else was given to Dulwich Hamlet. Let's start off this time with Dulwich Hamlet, who are 6th in the Premier League. Interesting. So you can sort of see their meteoric rise. We saw them win League One just back here. This season afterward, they didn't win the Championship. They came 3rd in the Championship. So they were starting to slow down, got themselves into the Premier League, and they have, I say struggled. They haven't really struggled at all. They've stayed in the Premier League for the last 20 seasons, which is very impressive. 16th, 14th, 7th, and then a 12th. But then they've sort of stayed, by looks of things, in the top half of the table. 11th place one season, and then a 13th and a 13th twice. But other than those, they've stayed in the top half. They got top 4 one season, and they've just finished 6th this past season as well. So they're playing European football as well. Obviously, the reputation on its own wasn't enough to get them to win a Premier League title. But what else have they won? Let's look at their history. They've won an FA Cup. They won that in 2033. They won a Carabao Cup in 2029. They won the 2033 Community Shield. They won League One, League Two. The Papa John's Trophy, that's the one that everyone wants to win. They won that in 2038, which was very recently. So I presume that under-23 squad won that one in the Papa John's Trophy, which is the one that everyone wants to win. Where is this? Dulwich Hamlet under-23s, exactly. That's what they've won that there. Dulwich Hamlet under-23s, there we go. They won that as the under-23s. And then, of course, various non-league trophies as well. The FA Trophy in 2023. So, well done, lads. You've done a very good career. I don't know what I was trying to say there. But a quick look into the Premier League. Not much has changed, I must say, at all, other than Dulwich Hamlet and Nottingham Forest being there. Like, literally not an awful lot. Brentford are there, actually, as well. Fair play to them, but not a huge change. Arsenal have won a few leagues, to be fair. Fair play to them. Well done, Arsenal. As of Everton have won a couple. 4 of them, actually. And Liverpool, nowhere to be seen. You love to see it. But what we are seeing here is no York, which is actually really surprising, because by this stage, it usually happens that they start to win things with £1 billion. So let's go and find York. Oh my words. York are currently 24th in Sky Bet League 2. How on earth has this happened? We gave York £1 billion, and we've never seen a team like fail with £1 billion. I think York might genuinely be the first team we've ever seen fail who we've given £1 billion to. How much money have they got left? Okay. Edit club details, finances. That's still 84 million? No, it's not. It's not 84 million. They've got 841 million left. I did just accidentally get rid of the 1 there. I had to put it back in because I was trying to work out the numbers. They've still got 841 million in their bank account. They've not even spent... I can't believe this. What are they doing with the money then? Like, what do they think they're going to do? Like, is all the money in the world about to run out and they're just sort of waiting? They're just waiting for all the money in the world to actually run out rather than just spend it now? What on earth? Their highest earner's on 58 grand and their next up is £3,100. I mean, Kevin Butt, are you any good? No, not really. He looked pretty crap. He's played for York for nearly his entire career. And he's got 7 ratings in some seats. What's his current 77 current ability? He's not worth... I can't believe this. Honestly, I think we could have given this money to any other club. Any other club, and they would have spent the money easily and just got promoted like Dulwich Hamlet did, and they had a good battle with them. What have York been doing? It gets even worse. They've actually had multiple relegations in this. It obviously took quite a long time to get them promoted from National League North into the National League, straight away promoted to League 2, where they struggled and got relegated and took 2 seasons to get back into League 2, where they stayed for a long time, finished 5th one season where they must have got playoffs but obviously lost in the playoffs, and then just fell down the table and got relegated, promoted, but are currently 24th with only 33 games played, so they're probably going to get relegated again, aren't they? What on earth has gone on at York City? I mean, if you can't succeed in football with £1 billion at non-league level, then fundamentally the club is doing something completely wrong. They've not even invested the money in the facilities. There's no new stadium. Genuinely, I am bemused by what's gone on here. To the point where I want to say it's a bug that they've just not spent the money. But I guess they are, because they are paying a player £58,000. This is so weird. So I think what we've seen here today is York just be terrible with money and not know how to spend £1 billion. We've also seen Dulwich Hamlet, rise up the ranks and potentially upping the reputation was far too much. Maybe we should have just left the reputation as it was and give them perfect facilities and everything else. Maybe that was the way to go instead. But I think if we'd given that £1 billion to another club, we wouldn't be complaining about this, because they would have spent that £1 billion and they would have been in the same position as Dulwich Hamlet. Because I feel like we've never had that situation before where a club's just done nothing with the money. So if the club did do something with the money, then I think they would have been competing with Dulwich Hamlet, and this would have been more interesting. So I'm kind of tempted to do this again with different clubs. But obviously you guys will have to let me know about that in the comment section down below. So a bit of a weird one, but it's a good experiment to get us started off with in FM21. There are plenty more coming for you over the next few weeks. So look forward to those, and obviously subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any upload. So until next time, have a wonderful week, enjoy playing Football Manager, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.